Hi there, welcome to the latest episode of my 10-minute moan. And the topic of this 10-minute moan is the scary situation where it appears that our own SAS have stopped a terror attack from happening during the VE Day celebrations today in London. Now that's quite a big claim and that's quite a big question. And the reason that I've came to this conclusion and asking for the debate on it is after looking at evidence, listening to how it's been reported, and speaking to a very high-ranking ex-intelligence officer today. And there's three things that make me ask this question. They are what happened when these men were being arrested, and the way that they were arrested, and the type of people they are. Because the reason that this high-ranking officer, and the reason I asked him, when I saw video footage from one of the arrests in Rochdale, there was at least two characters who just didn't look like police officers. They moved different, they were dressed differently, they even held their guns different to the cops who were there with police uniforms on. So I asked this guy who's got years, over a decade worth of experience working in some very dangerous places around the globe, while acting as a soldier and a high-ranking one at that. And that's how the conversation started. I said, look, am I right with this? Yes. We've also seen some suggestions. Yesterday, we were all told by government officials, by the media, that there was one specific target here, one specific venue. We're also told that there was two different investigations, which was a bit bizarre because they were the exact same day. One of them led to 5 men being arrested, 4 of which were Iranian, and the other group, 3 all Iranian. So we've now seen 8 men arrested and 7 of them Iranian. And the suggestion made by the media, government, police, that it's two totally separate things. And I'm not prepared to accept that. I think they might have been having 2 separate targets. But the words used to explain it to me were the words like cell. And we've now today been told that the attack by the group of 5 was set to happen within hours of them being arrested. Now obviously within 24 hours of them being arrested, there was massive celebrations in London celebrating the 80th anniversary of VE Day. Now, if I was a terrorist and I wanted to do what they tend to do, and that's have big exposure when you have attacks, you probably couldn't have picked a more visible, high threat event than that. And the fact that we should be grateful that it looks like our special forces have nobbled this and stopped this within 24 hours of it happening. But when I was speaking to this ex-high-ranking intelligence officer, he said to me that he saw footage where the way the men were handled, with the way they were arrested, with the way they were dragged away backwards, getting dragged away in their heels, that these are situations and the ways of holding somebody that we would train our special forces in. And he's got good reason to know that. So putting it all together, it would appear to me that it was definitely, and my assumption was correct yesterday, that we had our special forces helping with the police to arrest these people yesterday. It would appear that the single venue attack was being coordinated to coincide with the VE Day celebrations because it's now been described as hours away. But the more frightening thing that came up in my conversation with this man was when he told me that with our special forces being involved, this is not just a bunch of radicalised teenagers. Now yesterday, the police did tell us the age of the people arrested and they were ranging up to 55 years of age. So these are not just radicalised teenagers off our streets. These are highly trained and highly skilled operatives, because if they weren't, there would have been no need to put our special forces in to arrest them. Now, this whole thing's getting a bit scary because I'm actually getting a lot of information now from different people with different concerns. And I will be hopefully visiting a place in Scotland within the next 48 to 72 hours where the suggestion has been to me there is a tented village somewhere. I've been told the place and I'm not wanting to put it out now until I make the video just for my own safety, but I'll go there. And if it is as been described to me, and I've got absolutely no reason to believe otherwise, it's horrific that there's a lot of people, foreigners, in this area, in Scotland, all young men, in tents. Not hotels, no asylum seeker type situations, so that's a bit scary. I've also, I'm looking at trying to help somebody who has got information that would suggest that some of these people that are in our country, we actually do know who they are before they get here. And that would suggest that we have a list of people prior to them arriving. We know who they are, we know if they've got potential risks, we know their history. And that is absolutely frightening. And this is something that's probably bigger than Craig Houston Talks, the podcast, I need to be honest with you. Because if this can be stood up, it's a bit frightening where it's came from. And it's not just normal people now. It's not just activists, podcasters and that sort of thing that are concerned. The amount of people that are coming to me and people like me with some real high, powerful, and educated and experienced people telling us, people that are, if I told you some of the people that are wanting to speak to people and get messages out there, where they're working just now, it will give you an absolute eye-opener to the, and when you consider these people are concerned and they kind of know a lot more than you and I because of where they work, it just makes me feel very uneasy about what's actually going on in the United Kingdom right now. The seriousness of the immigration problem, and I believe that it will come out one day and people will know the full scale of this. And it's not just about people who are bigots and racist and don't want people from foreign countries here. It should be a concern to anybody who has any concern whatsoever for the safety of people in the United Kingdom. And it's actually, I'm getting to that point where I'm thinking, God, this is actually getting serious now. Serious for me, serious for everybody in the United Kingdom, the safety of the people in place. But I think the facts all point to the stuff over the last 24 hours. It would appear that our SAS have indeed stopped or helped stop a planned attack on the VE Day celebrations in London that are happening today. Staying up to date with events around the world can be difficult, where it's impossible to consult a single source for the full story. Narratives that shape public opinion often just reinforce media and corporate-backed vested interests. It's hard to know what information to trust. See what the media is exaggerating, sensationalising, over or under reporting. That's why I've been using Ground News. Ground News is an app and website that combines news from around the world in one place so you can compare coverage. For every news source, you can see if it has any political bias, how reliable the reporting is, and who owns them. They even have a blind spot feed that highlights news disproportionately covered by one side of the political spectrum. Take a data-driven view on the news and stay current. Get news from thousands of sources worldwide in one place. I've been using Ground News to help me get all the world's news in one place and give a more balanced opinion on what we read and viewing who is telling us the truth and who isn't. Subscribe via my link to get 40% off the Vantage subscription. It's the one I use to get unlimited access to every feature. Your subscription can not only help my channel, but also help Ground News, as it makes the media landscape more transparent. And that is absolutely bonkers. If you enjoyed this video, if you want others to see it, hit the thumbs up, like button, put some comments below, and hit the share. Spread it far and wide with your friends and family. If you've not already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the notification bell. But most importantly than all that, unless you're the type of person that wants to come to our country, foreign lands, and terrorise people, no you. But everyone else, have a great day. Cheerio, bye now.